Hey y'all, I know it's been a minute, but I'm back now. See you in a second.
Welcome to the V. Lenore Show. Here, we will discuss lifestyle, beauty, celebrity gossip, and current events in our own way, my way, V style. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the show.
I think I missed my own theme song. I missed it. I think I'm gonna play it one more time. I'm gonna give y'all a little time. Go grab a beverage or something, all right? And then come on back. I got somebody I want you to meet. Somebody I think we can learn something from. Someone who's going to inspire us. But more than anything, we're just gonna have a good conversation. So let me hear my theme song again. I ain't been out here since December. Not on this main channel. So let me hear my song again. It's nice. I like it.
Welcome to the V. Lenore Show. Here, we will discuss lifestyle, beauty, celebrity gossip, and current events in our own way, my way, V style. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the show.
Hi, everybody. I'm back. Welcome to the V. Lenore Show. And I'm your host, V. Lenore. Yay! We're back, y'all. We back, y'all. We back, y'all. All right. How have you all been? Okay, so I've been cheating a little bit on y'all. Okay, so my main channel, the V. Lenore Show. I love you guys so much. All of my V stylers who come back over here and show me love. I so appreciate it. I apologize for not being out here sooner. This has been a rough year, 2023. I've had some health issues that kind of put me down. And when it put me down, I kind of just sort of, took a rest from work, from this channel. But in the midst of that, I did start a backup channel. And the backup channel, I just kind of go over there and I just shoot the shit with the people. You know what I'm saying? A lot of, we talk about YouTube gossip. We talk about whatever topic may come up that we want to discuss. We have a little conflict resolution. Well, we try. So we just shoot this shit over there. Okay. Now over here, is where I have some of my more serious topics and stuff. And I like to prepare. I like to do research. I like to really prepare for our serious show. And, I really take this channel very seriously. And I want to give you, quality content. So I try to be very mindful of what I'm doing over here. And, but it also is a little taxing at times because you want to do something good. But if you're already not feeling well, then doing this, it just felt like a lot of work in that moment. So when I started my backup channel, I didn't even really have to prepare anything. I just went over there and we just started talking. All right. And right now we are actually streaming on my 2 YouTube channels. That is V Lenore, this one, the V Lenore Show, and my other channel, which is V Lenore Uncut. Now, let me tell you something. We're gonna have a nice little professional, conversation over here, for the first hour. And then in the second hour, we're going to move over to the backup channel. We're going to move over to V Lenore Uncut because some of y'all might have some questions that, we might not want to answer over here, okay? Or we may not want to talk about over here, all right? So our guest is kind enough to allow us the opportunity to spend some time with him, and he'll answer some questions over there on V Lenore Uncut, all right? So we'll go over there. My mods will drop the link. Please subscribe if you haven't subscribed. Hell, subscribe right here, all right? Because I have pretty good content. We do some celebrity news, some lifestyle, little, current events, whatever's happening that's really, popping. We're going to talk about it over here. We really are. But if you want the gossip, especially the YouTube gossip, go on over there to V Lenore Uncut, all right? And then we're also live on Facebook. So I'm happy to be in all these places tonight. All right. So let me say hi to all of you. Thank you for hanging in there with me. Hey, Jada Victorious Lifestyle. Jada Victorious Lifestyle. Beautiful. Thank you. Natasha Hubbard, thank you for being a member. Thank you for joining the membership. You guys can always join the membership. I am going to get back on my case, all right, of trying to do Zooms, trying to do a couple of actual lives on this channel, on the main channel, twice a week. And I'm going to do some uploads over here, I think. And then we'll be over there on the Uncut channel, where V Lenore is uncut over there. Okay. You might hear some things you might not hear me say at work or at church. You're going to hear it the way I feel it. Okay. Like Wendy says, say it like you mean it. Or how'd she say? What was her theme song? Anyway. All right. Hey, Little Shay. Thank you for being my moderator and for being here. Thank you so much. Hi, is it Uleek? Hi, Uleek Campbell. Welcome. Welcome. Hi, Brittany Turner. I got a feeling you're related to somebody I know. I got a feeling. Huh? Yeah. Brittany Turner, thank you. Welcome. Welcome. All right. Let's see who else is here. Tanya Reese, welcome. Hey, Debbie Sneed. How are you? Jackie Hicks is here. Hey, Shell Loves. Hey, Boo Boo. Hey, Cool Gamer. Ain't seen you in a long time. How are you? Hey, Ronnie Howard. Hey, Denise Jonas. Smokey Stackhouse. All right, then. Smokey Stackhouse. All right. Hey, Denise A. Hi, Adore Me. Hi, Anybody. Hi, Penny. Happy belated birthday, Penny. Under New Management is here. Hey, hey, Grandma Grace. All right, December baby. Hey, girl. Mama Cynthia Simpson. Girl, why you following me all around these streets today? When I peek in, you be there too, girl. I saw you. I seen you. All right. And y'all probably still know more than what's going on than I don't. But anyway, we'll get to that later. Hey, Lady Steph. How y'all doing today? All right. So, okay, it's time. It's time. My guest is here. Hey, Bridget Ducksworth. My guest is here. I'm going to bring him up. But before I do, I'm going to let a clip describe him and introduce him for me. Okay. As most of you know, hey, Shay L, right? Hey, Shay L. Barn Dog's here. Hi, Barn Dog. All right. So most of you know that about 3 years ago now, I did a TED Talk. And my talk was on recidivism. I have a very serious passion about recidivism. And it didn't come by accident. It came by me messing up on my own, making a bad choice. And it really, really took me to a different place I didn't plan to be. But I'm so happy I'm here. I've been able to meet some wonderful people, some talented people. I've been able to meet some people who inspire me. You know, their strength, their resilience, their intellect, just their talents in general. I've met a lot of people that I was blessed to come to know, but would not have had I not made a bad choice. Now, I'm not suggesting that we all go out and make bad choices, but the truth is we all have made one. Some have landed us in more trouble than the next, but we've all made bad choices, and there's opportunity for you to still make a bad choice. I remember someone telling me years ago, everyone is one bad decision away from a bad situation. And that's the truth, right? But some of us have been sort of exposed to things all of our life that would make you think you're never going to be successful. You know, some people have some real stories that led them down a path where they may have felt they didn't have a choice. And over time, I want you to meet a few of those people. This gentleman I'm going to introduce you to today is someone that I feel is very special to me. Okay. And I think you're going to learn why. I mentioned that about 3 years ago, I did this TED Talk. And in the TED Talk, I talk about my friend JT. All right. And I'm going to play the little clip. Oh, Lord, Lord, TED platform, please don't be mad. Okay. I'm just going to play a little clip. All right. Just to introduce my friend. All right. Here we go. Let me play this clip. But before I do that, let me put them a little disclaimer here. This is for fair use. Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976 gives allowances made for fair use and for purposes of criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, education, and research. All of this is that. Education, research, commentary, news reporting, and criticism. We're open to it. All right. So I'm going to keep that up while I play this little clip of my friend JT. Hold on one second, where I introduce him and I talk about him during my TED Talk. So here we go. 1 second. All right. Let me share my screen. Yep. All right. No, I want it smaller. Hold on. Yeah. Okay. All right. So I'm going to play this for you right now.
But I want to tell you about one of my clients that I've had the pleasure of working with recently, and his name is JT. Now, at the age of 19, JT was a father and a drug dealer. And because of that career choice, he ended up getting arrested and sentenced to 15 years in prison. 15 years in prison. Now, when he was released 15 years later, at the age of 34, JT would be the first one to tell you that he still had this mindset of a 19-year-old in the streets. So he returned back to doing what he had always done. So he was rearrested and sentenced to a second term. Now, this next time, though, that he was in prison, he learned of the death of his daughter. She died of an overdose of heroin. And JT felt that this was his karma because he once sold heroin. So he decided in that moment that he was going to change his life, and he got involved in every program and got every certification that he could. And once he was released, he continued along in that path and got involved in more programs. He knew he wanted to be an entrepreneur because he knew how to be an entrepreneur, right? But this time he was going to do it the right way. And he got a certification, got a CDL certification. He wanted to become a trucker. He did it, but unfortunately, he was not able to get hired by any of the big trucking companies. No one would hire him because of his background. And that became very discouraging for him. But he stayed steadfast, and eventually a small trucking company did hire JT. And now his life has changed forever.
All right. All right, so let me just stop right there. Look, I hope that you will check out my TED Talk. You can look it up. My name is Valerie Hawes. You can look under TED Talk recidivism. You will find me here. I am doxing myself. All right, I doxed myself years ago. This work that I've been exposed to has changed my life, and it's all the more better. It's more better because of the people that it has brought into my life in the process. So, with that said, without further ado, I'm gonna bring up my friend, former client, now friend, and future business partner. One day, Mr. JT, James JT Turner. Hey, JT.
What's up? What's
How you
up, man?
doing?
I'm doing all right.
You doing all right?
Yeah, I'm doing all right.
How
That
you
little
feel
clip
when
just
you
sort of like, man, made me a little emotional, you know.
look?
That was nice. That was the first time I watched it in like 2 years, I think. That was wow.
How you
That's
feel when you hear, me about you like that? Talk about your life. How does that make you feel?
I feel grateful. I appreciate that so much.
I feel grateful. I called you right before I did the talk, and I was like, JT, I want to talk a little bit about your story. They
Okay.
say I need to add, extra experiences. And at first I was like, I don't want to go on there and tell all my clients' businesses, and all
Right.
that.
Right, I
But
got you.
they were like, no, it'll add to, and I was like, yeah, okay. So I called you and you were
Mhm.
like, yeah. I mean, you didn't even hesitate about that.
Right.
So I am grateful for you. You
Yeah.
made my talk even better, child.
Yeah.
They
I
want to hear
definitely
about the drug dealer.
appreciate you.
Okay.
I ain't a drug dealer no more though.
I know you not, because I wouldn't even be fucking with you. Okay.
Yeah, I know that.
You know,
I
I
know
don't
that.
play that shit. Okay.
Right.
But no, I'm so proud of you.
Thank you.
I am. I'm so proud of
You know,
you.
my mom told me yesterday to be proud of myself. I should be proud of myself, and I am.
You should be.
'Cause I could be really doing something else, but I ain't. I choose to do it. I don't want to do that no more. So
So let's talk. So let's go back. I want to kind of walk the folks through kind of what your life experience has been. All right. What I gave was a snippet. It's not even the crux of all you've experienced in your life, what you've overcome in your life. So let's talk about it just a little bit. Where are you from originally, sir?
well, I'm from Columbus, Ohio.
You're from Columbus,
I
Ohio.
was I was born in Grand Hospital.
Nice.
Yeah.
You know what? I don't even know where I was born. Where was
Yeah.
I? I don't even know what hospital. You know what? No, I think I was born in Mount Carmel. Okay. I think I do know. Hi, Brenda Hobson. Thank you. Thank you so much, honey, for the super sticker. Thank you. Okay, so you were born in Columbus, Ohio.
Hmm.
You don't have to tell me your age. Well, I know your age, but you don't have to tell the people your age unless you want to. But you
Oh, I'm
want to give
grown. I'm
the age
53.
range, huh?
I'm 53. I ain't ashamed of that. I'm proud of
That's
that.
what you know. What I don't understand when people get ashamed of their age. Like, why am I be ashamed that the Lord keep blessing me with a year? Like, what?
I used to wear it. You know, to me, it's because I never in my wildest, never in my life thought I would even live this long. So I'm proud.
So, okay, so let's talk. You were in Columbus, Ohio. Do you have any
Mhm.
siblings?
Yeah, I have two biological
Biological.
siblings.
Okay,
Yeah,
that's what
my
I'm
two
asking here.
sisters. I got two
Okay,
sisters. We all 2 years apart. I'm the middle. Uh,
okay.
Deanya, me, and Yuli. So
Hold on. So wait, Jada Victoria's lifestyle is your daughter, Jada?
that's my baby girl.
Little baby Jada?
That's little baby J. Yep.
Jada, what you doing out here, girl? Okay.
She want to see her
I'm like,
dad.
wait, little Jada? Little light skinned
Mm,
Jada?
yep. That's her.
She
That's
on here.
her.
But then also Brittany. Who is Brittany?
That's my niece. That's
That's
my
your niece.
sister's daughter. Yeah.
Okay.
That's my other sister's daughter.
Okay. Gotcha. Not the sister I met.
No, you didn't. No,
Yeah.
you met Leaky
Okay. Gotcha.
and Sherelle. Yeah, you didn't get
Okay.
to meet her.
All right. So you were born. Were you born to? Were your parents married? Like, tell us what was your
No,
family?
no, my parents weren't married. My dad, he was a worker bee. He worked at since I can remember, he worked at Anheuser-Busch as a kid. And my mom, when me and my mom, I was 7, so my older sister was 9 and my baby sister was 5. My mom up and went to California. So it was
Wait. So let's go back. So your mom left you with whom and where?
well, my sister, because honestly, my big sister lived with my grandma, my dad's mom.
Okay.
So it was just me and my little sister. We stayed right there in a little yellow house on Oak and Wilson. And I went to Fair Avenue School. I'll never forget it. And I came home one day from school, and a man from Children's Service was there. So what they did, they took my sister, my baby sister, to my grandma's, and they took me to Franklin County Children's Services.
Okay.
So I went to Franklin Village.
But
Back
wait a
then
minute,
it was
go
called
back.
Franklin Village.
Hold on. So why was Children's Services called? Why were you being picked up by Children's Services?
Well, now that I'm older, my grandma couldn't handle all those kids.
Hold on. Because I know this kid. There's somebody says Cavion.
Yeah, that's my
Anthony?
grandson.
That's your
That's my grandson.
grandbaby?
Yeah.
How old is your grandson?
Kavion is 14.
Child. Because I have a little cousin named Caviante Anthony, which is
Oh, okay. That's crazy. That is.
I was like, wait a minute now.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy.
Hi, YouTube cameras. Hi. Okay, so I'm sorry. So your sister was being raised by your grandmother, but Children's Services.
Both my sisters.
Both of your sisters were at your grandma.
Yeah.
But you were with your
She
mom.
kept the girls in. Yeah. No. Me and my baby sister was with my mom. My older sister was at my grandma's.
Right. Okay.
So when I came home, my baby sister was gone. It was just me.
What do you mean?
Because
you came home from where?
From school.
Okay, you just came home from school one day. Your sister was gone.
My sister and my mom was gone. It was just a man from Children's Services. So my sister went with my grandma, and and I went to the Children's Services. So.
Okay, but let me understand this again. What was the reason why Children's Services got involved in the first place?
Because my grandma didn't want to take me. She just wanted my sisters.
So you mean it? So what you're saying to me is that your mother made a decision that she didn't want to raise her kids, and then she left 2 of the kids with your grandmother because your grandmother was like, "I'll take these girls, but I can't take this boy." Is that what you're saying?
Pretty much.
And then because she declined taking you in, you went into the system.
Right. Exactly.
And
I entered the system at 7 years old.
7 years old.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So at 7 years old, you go into the system. How long were you in different foster homes?
Yeah, I would. Oh my goodness. I only stayed a short time in each one because I would run away. So I would always run away and go to my grandma's because that's where my sisters were.
Mm-hmm.
So
So when you get over there
Oh.
to see your grandmother, would she at least greet you and let you visit with them and hang out? Or
Yeah,
was she,
yeah.
okay.
But like when I was younger, she would call the police on me and they would come pick me up and take me back. So, you know, I would go spend a night in DH. Then the next morning they would wake me up and take me back to Franklin Village.
So okay. So how long were you in the system as a foster child?
So I was like 15,
So from the age of
14, about 14. I'm gonna say 14.
from 7 to 14, you bounced around in different
Bounced
homes.
around. Hmm.
Okay, let's go back a bit because I remember you telling me a story about something else that happened as a kid. You can decide whether or not you want to talk about that, but it pertained to your dad when he left. You want to talk about that?
What are you talking about? The-
Didn't something happen when you were a kid?
Oh, and my dad pulled off.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh yeah, you talking about when the dude was, yeah, when dude was trying to molest me. Yeah,
Oh,
the
do you
neighbor.
want to talk about this at all? We don't have to go into a lot of detail, but I
I
just
mean, it was just that, you know, this older, I want to say about, he was grown, about 18, but he was young. He was like 18, 19. And, you know, he tried it, but I got away and I ran out and I told my dad. Because my grandma lived next door. So when I told my dad, he like went like he was gonna say something, but then one of their people said something, and all he did was got in his car and drove away. And I'm
okay.
standing
So
there like, huh?
how old were you at this time?
I was young. I like maybe 9, 10, something like that.
Okay, then this is what I want to understand. So you're in the system at this time. You at
Yeah.
some point in between there. So
No,
you
but I still, like I said, I used to run away. And at first, like I was saying, like when I first did it, when I was young, my grandma would call the police. But as I got older, she stopped. They would just catch me whenever they caught me.
Mhm. So okay, so at this time, then you would run away and what? You went to your dad's house?
No, my grandma lived right next door to where I was playing with the older boy.
Okay. Oh. So this is when you're going to visit. Okay. So you were visiting your grandmother, your sisters. You're hanging
Yeah.
out there.
And my
This
dad came over
boy,
there.
this older boy, a young
Hmm.
man, actually
Hmm.
tries to harm you.
Right.
And when he tries to harm you, you got away. You went back to tell your dad about it. So was your dad like over to the grandmother's house or something? He just happened to
Yeah.
be around.
Yeah. He
Okay.
just happened to be around. That was one of the times like he happened to be around. And I ran in there and
And
told him.
okay. So wow. So he happened to be around. You run home or to grandma's or talk to your dad, tell him what happened. So he goes over to confront the people. But when he
Mm.
gets there,
He went over
somebody
to confront the
confronts him.
boy. He went to confront the boy. Like I said, he was young, like, but he was grown, but he was like 18, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So when he go to confront the boy's uncle, Junior, said something to my dad.
And scared him, or at least that's what it seems like.
That's what it seemed like to me,
Hmm. And
you
then
know,
all he
as
did
I
was
got
walk
older
off, got in his car, and he drove
and
off.
left. And I was just standing there. Yep.
9 years
True
old.
story. 9 years old.
So have you did well, let me go back. Are either of your parents, your biological parents, still alive?
Yeah. My mom is. My
Were
dad
you
passed away when I was in prison
the first time or the second time?
the second time,
Wow.
2003.
Okay, we're
Yeah.
gonna talk about that. That's a rough. That a lot happened during that second time.
Mm-hmm.
That's 2 deaths.
Right. No. He died. He died in my first one in 2003.
Okay, so during the first stint. Okay,
Yeah, because I got out. No, he 2002 because I got out in 2004.
gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay, all right, we'll get there. We'll get there. Okay, I just wondered, did you? So before you went in, oh, probably not. Before you went into prison, did you two ever mend anything? Your relationship on, because I know that had to affect your relationship, your mindset. That's your daddy, that's your protector, supposed to
Right.
be. And
That was
then
my hero for real as a child. It was. But my dad was single. Like my dad didn't. He allowed my grandma to raise, pretty much me and my sisters. So he wasn't ready to be a dad at that time. You know what I mean? So, like I played football. I was a beast. Never came to none of my. I don't think my dad came to one game. You know what I'm saying? And my sisters did, but I think my dad might have came to one game when he bought me my first dog named Max, and I think he came to one game because Max was running around the field. I remember that, but like it wasn't when I turned like 14. I think I'm gonna say 14. I really want to say 15 because I went to West High School. My dad got a house and he moved my grandma, me and all my sisters, like a family, into one house. So we stayed out west. But it was like, honestly, it was too late. I was already off the porch by then. I was out there in the streets and everything.
So it's a great segue. So around what age is it that you started selling drugs?
Ooh. Well, I'm 53.
I know.
I
I'm
was
just asking. I'm asking when it started.
I was around
I'm
when crack
53
first.
too.
I was around when crack first came out. So that was like 1984. No,
you 14.
Like 1986.
Okay, 16.
1985, 86. Yeah.
Okay.
Because when crack came out, I was living with my first kid's mother.
You were looking for her.
I was living.
Oh, you were living with her. Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
So crack comes out, and that's when you're like, oh, new product on the streets. Let me get out here and make this paper.
Crack came out and destroyed everything. Like, it was just, wow. That's all I could say.
I got a question real quick before we move on. Lue in the chat. Hey, Lue, has a question. It says, how did the trauma, meaning the losses, the abuse, how did it and how did it impact your self-esteem, your relationships, and etc. growing up? We're not even going to talk about adult age. How did it affect you growing up? Was it hard to trust people at these foster homes? Is that why you were running away from them?
It wasn't.
Just trying to get to your family?
It was just trying to get to my family. Because it was one lady, oh my God, she just loved me so much. Like, and I was 12. And I stayed up north. I'll never forget this. So my Aunt Audrey stayed on that side of the street. And the lady stayed all the way on this side of the street. Oh, Core. It was Core. On the corner of Core and Billiter in the alley. And she just loved me so much. She wanted to adopt me and everything. But I just wasn't going. I wanted to be with my family. So I just kept running away. I never stayed. I ran away from Franklin Village too. Anywhere they put me, I was running away. I wasn't staying. I wasn't staying.
When did you reconnect with your mother? You said your mother left. So where did she went to California. When did you reconnect with her?
Well, she always, it's funny because I never admitted this because I always felt like I had a grudge because I always needed somebody to blame. When I was 15, my mom lived in Beverly Hills, California, and her husband's name was Fauzi. I'll never forget it. But
What did he do? Was he a black man?
No, he was a Arab or something like that. He was one of the Middle Eastern people, but
and had money.
She offered, definitely had money. She offered for me to move to California, and I said no.
That could have been, you know, sometimes we think we miss opportunities. Sometimes we do, but you never know. That might have, you don't know where that would have taken you. You never know what would have, it could have been a worse situation. Everything that looked greener ain't always greener. It ain't always
that's
nicer.
True.
You know, you don't know what that might have exposed you to. Okay, so you said that when you started selling, which was at the age of 16, you said you were living with your baby mom at 16?
Yeah, at 16.
How
her
old
mom
was she?
She was 16.
And you stayed at their home?
Yep. Because her mom, Linda, God bless Linda. That was my other mom. And she's saying, you know, I kept running away. And she was like, Jimmy, you could just come and stay with me. So that's how that happened.
Nice. So she had gotten to know you from you dating her daughter and liked you. How long had you guys dated before that time, before you moved in?
I want to say about 3 months.
3 months, and she let you move into her house?
Yeah.
Okay.
Linda was love, man. Linda, that lady taught me so much. Like how to be a man, like, whew. Clean, cook. I do all of that. I can do all of that. Clean, cook, wash my clothes. What? You getting up every Saturday morning, turn the music on, and we clean it.
So trained beyond.
Yeah. So she pretty much taught me all of that, and she showed me a special kind of love. So yeah.
Okay, let's take a quick break here, guys. If you are in the chat, please, I don't know if you are watching from, let me look at that. Don't know where you're watching from. Thank you for watching. If you wouldn't mind, please like the video. I think we're going to get into some things, y'all. So please like the video. Oh, that reminds me, there's something else I need to pull up.
What? Don't do
say
it. Don't do it. Do not do it.
You know
Don't do it.
You know how I get down, What are you saying?
Oh my goodness.
We'll get there later.
All right. Okay.
If you are in the chat, you guys, please like this video. Please subscribe if you're not subscribed, and also please share it. I don't give a damn who you share it with. Share it with somebody right now. You know one person you can share it with. We got 85 people in the chat. You can share this shit with somebody. You know somebody. All right. Let's take a quick break. I'm gonna run a quick commercial, and then we're gonna come back. We're gonna talk a little bit about this drug life, how that impacted you being a young father, and then we'll get into the prison life a little bit. Okay.
Okay.
All right. We'll be right back, y'all, right after this. right. To those of you that I didn't get a chance to speak to, thank you for coming on over here. Please charge it to my mind, not to my heart, honey, because I love y'all. Thank you for the click, the view, the support, the well wishes, and thank you for supporting my friend as he tells his story. Okay. Hey, Demita. Who else? Hey, Jerome MacArthur. Oh, but there was a comment in here I highlighted. I wanted. I didn't highlight it yet. There was something. A friend of yours in the chat, Alan Magwood, said, "Wow, bro, I never knew your story. That explains a whole lot. Linda was the truth. Love you, dude." Who's Alan?
That's like my brother. That's my sister's oldest child's dad.
Okay. Hey, something sweet. How are you? Octavius Prime. How are you, honey? All right, y'all. Hey, Seth. Okay. So let's talk a little bit about becoming a father at 16. 16. 8. Okay. So you lived with them for 2 years before you even had a baby with her.
Mm-hmm.
So you weren't even living with her because she got pregnant or none of that.
No.
That woman saw that you were running away and told you to come live there.
Yeah.
Okay, I got a question. I got a question.
Okay.
Where'd you sleep, nigga?
With my baby mom.
What?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. I'm glad, Miss Linda. That's your house, girl. Okay. All right. Well, I'm glad, Miss Linda. Oops, sorry. See, my earrings is falling out, child. Under that. You sleep with her at 16, living in her house and things, Miss Linda's house. Okay. All right. Well,
that's how I got my kids.
It was a blessing, though, in disguise.
It was
disguise, I guess. Anyway, yeah, you having your cake and eating it too. Shit. Okay. So when did you start? The hell? Okay. What? I didn't know that part of the story. All right. Now, when did you start selling? And how did that happen?
I was 16. You know, we used to have our little, a little gang. We was, we was called the mid. Yeah, we was called them like the Midtown. So we was all East Side. You had the EC Assassins, the Dozen Cousins, the Brew Crew, the Undercover Lovers. Like, see, it ain't like now we Bloods and Crips. No, we had our own Columbus gangs, and so one person got on, and we all went over his house, and we sitting on the thing, and he was just like, "Okay, y'all gonna have the East Side, y'all gonna have Southfield, y'all gonna do this, y'all gonna do that," and then bam, that's how it went.
Hold on, I ain't judging you or Miss Linda, but Valerie, girl, my mama, child, I wish I would. I wish I would form my lips to even suggest it, child.
Yeah, I mean that was just her heart, man. Linda had a big heart, and she
but she can have a big heart. You can lay your big ass on that big ass couch too, but you laying up in.
We know we was sneaking. She couldn't do nothing about it. We was sneaking. Was she gonna stay up all night?
What you mean? She didn't know that you slept in the room with her daughter? Okay, so that's different. So where were you? So Miss Linda didn't know you was getting up out your bed and going into your baby mama's room and going to bed.
Yeah.
Oh, she didn't know.
Nope, not at first.
Okay, I'm glad we cleared this up. Miss Linda, all right. You all right with me? Miss Linda, I'm sorry, girl. I don't mean no harm, but I just knew that was messing me up a little bit. Okay. All right. Okay. So you stayed. So the one friend got on. You're staying at your baby mama's house, and you get out in the streets. You start selling. You start making good money quickly, or what?
Nah, I was 16. We didn't know what to do. The money was coming. We was selling drugs, doing drugs. Like, we wouldn't care. We was just going to get some tennis shoes, some Nike Cortez, and the troop suit, You know what I'm saying? That's it. We didn't care about none of that. Like we was just going to the fair fresh. That's all we wanted to do. So
Okay.
yeah, the money wasn't. When I got locked up, then the money, like the dudes I used to hang with, started really making money.
Oh, so you're saying you weren't even making the kind of like real money doing it when you got locked up?
Mm-mm.
How old were you when you got locked up?
I was 19.
So literally, like just in a couple
I got
of
locked
weeks.
up on my 19th birthday, actually.
Shut up. How did that happen?
Me and my dudes, we was using drugs, high, and we used to rob people. So we went on a little robbery spree.
Hold on one second. Jada, Daddy, Jada says she ain't know all this, okay? Is Jada, is what time you go to bed, Jada? Girl. Jada said this her innocent ears didn't know these things. No, Jada, baby, I'm not gonna even talk about how old she is. She a baby, but she's smart enough to get on this damn YouTube, okay, and listen to
That's
this.
my love. That's
I
my
know,
love.
I know. Hi, El Blue. Oh God. Okay, all right. Let's go back. So JT, you're out kicking. You keep saying y'all were using drugs. So what kind of drugs did you sell, and what kind did you use?
We sold crack, and back then it was a thing called primos. Like it was just like sort of like now today, how people snort, like all the
Yeah.
dope dealers snort cocaine or they all smoke loud. We all
All
used
the
to.
dope dealers. I thought you ain't supposed to use your supply.
Ain't nobody. They
I
don't.
watch enough movies. No. I don't
Get
watch
out of here.
enough movies.
Get out of
I
here.
don't watch enough drug dealing movies to
Yeah.
know you ain't supposed to be using your supply.
Yeah. Well, we didn't abide by the rules, but
Okay.
yeah. So
So y'all,
they
so
would.
you were
We used to
when
call
you
them.
say
We used to call them
primos,
51s.
hold on though. Primos are that's when you they sprinkle it in some weed, right? And roll it
Yep.
up.
Yep.
Good. I learned that from Whitney Houston. Whitney Houston has said that that's what they did. So that's what okay, I got it. And that makes sense. That's around that time. Why you bullshit.
Yeah. Because
Okay.
that's. I mean, that's what everybody.
Jada, Miss Val is cussing. Okay. So ignore Miss Val. Okay. All right.
That's
Okay. So
definitely true, Valerie.
what she
That is
say?
definitely true. She just said,
Thank God you're able to tell your story. So many young men like yourself didn't make it out of the game. Amen. That is true.
yeah,
Okay, so you said y'all would do primos, which means then you did a little coke. That's what you're
yep,
saying. Okay,
no,
did a little coke, did a little weed. Anything else?
nope. Well,
Okay,
liquor.
and liquor. Okay.
I tried acid one time and laughed for
Ooh,
like 8
Jesus.
hours. Yeah,
You did
I was
what?
16. I tried acid for one time. I
And
tried
what
it
happened?
once. I laughed for like 8 hours straight. Like for real. Linda came in the house like because it was me, my baby mom, my best friend Brian Taylor, and my cousin Nicole. And we just in there tripping. And Linda came in from bingo like, what y'all on acid or something? And it just made it worse. But yeah, I tried that one time. But I don't
Jada,
do
I'm gonna let you come up, Jada, at the end if Daddy says it's still okay. We don't know what else he gonna expose to us, Jada. Jada, I didn't know some of these things. Miss Val didn't even know. Okay, jeez, Louise, what in the
yeah.
world? Me and Jada is learning a lot tonight, and so is what was your friend's name earlier? He was like,
Oh,
explain
Al.
something.
Yeah.
Huh?
Al.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, okay. So you did a little that and this or that. And then so on your birthday, you're kicking it. How did you get
Yeah.
arrested? Like what was the deal with the arrest? How'd that happen?
Because when we was robbing the spot,
Y'all was
well,
robbing
first we
too?
robbed like two. Yeah. Yeah.
What you doing? You robbing drug dealers? You just rob
We was
random
robbing drug
robbery?
dealers. We was robbing drug dealers. We was robbing stores. We was robbing whatever.
Okay. So that was that okay. So you were
So
robbing somebody. Okay, go ahead.
we was robbing this store, and because we had robbed like 3 stores already.
Mhm.
We were robbing the Domino's.
Oh
I
my.
put the people in the freezer,
Oh.
and like, so we was robbing another place, and I told my dude, I was like,
Yes.
pull the phone out the wall, because when we did the Domino's, I put the phone out the wall, put him in the freezer, locked the door, boom. So you know what I'm saying, they couldn't call the police. His dude, he think we got him so scared. He like, nah, we ain't gotta do that. So when we riding up head and turn, because we trying to use the side streets because we was out west. I forget what street that was we turned to. And then we turned, we going towards Sullivan, and the police just pulled right behind us. They came out with guns like, wait. Now, if it was today, they might, I might not even be talking to y'all right now.
Well, they was lighting people up back then. Don't get it twisted.
Yeah.
I mean, Rodney King is I mean, they didn't light him up with bullets, but they beat him. It was amazing. He survived that beating, you know?
Yeah.
So
It's a lot of stuff going on now.
Hi, come get this commentary. Hi, honey. Hi, Kiva. Kiva. I miss you. Never mind. We got a whole nother situation over here, Kiva girl. But thank you for coming. I love her. I love her commentary. All right. Wow. Okay, so that's when you went to prison behind that?
I went to prison.
For 15 years.
I got sentenced to 5 to 25 years. And out of them 25 years, I did 15.
Wow. Okay, so once you go to prison at 19, you're there 15 years. What did you do then? Like, what did you do in prison? Like, were you a part of a gang in there? Were you trying to change your life at that point? Or what was going on that first stint?
Oh, hecky no. I wasn't trying to change nothing.
So when you went in there, let me ask you this. When you went to prison, were you scared to go to prison?
Nah.
I have heard, and the reason I asked that for a very specific reason, because I have watched some documentaries where I've seen young boys, 16-year-olds out there in the streets doing their thing. And some of them even mentioning that going to prison was like a rites of passage, so to speak. Like, it's like going to college for street life, or something like that. Or they think they go in there, they're going to run shit up in there or whatever. So you weren't afraid. But why weren't you afraid? Did you know, even though they told you 25 years, JT, you weren't even afraid when you heard the sentencing?
No. So when I was 17, I robbed this store. So I was on the run pretty much. So I couldn't give them my real name. So I gave them a fake name and a fake birthday, and they took me to the county where Linda bonded me out. But I was only 17. So I had been to jail before.
Okay.
So it wasn't,
so you've been to
what I'm
jail,
saying?
so you
Plus
thought
I did
this was like that.
Yeah, plus I did juvenile time. So for
I forgot
robbery.
about that.
Like, so I was no.
Let's go back a second. You said you did. I forgot about that. So when did you do juvenile time?
I did juvenile time when I was 16 for robbery.
For robbery. And you stayed in there how long? How much time was juvenile time? Like a few months?
I was supposed to do 6 months to a year, but I escaped after I did like
you
3
escaped
months.
The freaking juvenile detention center? Wait, okay, JT, where were you? Where were you?
I was at Buckeye Youth Center, right by.
No. You know why I'm asking you?
Why?
JT. Now this is some shit right here. Because see, first of all, let me tell y'all this. Let me go back for a second. We're going to get back to his story. But I'm tripping now. Because look, when I first met JT, we'll get to that too, how we met. I learned in that class he knew someone that I knew very, very, very well. Okay. Yeah. So we were already, we knew that we had a connection. Once we, past that, every time I turn around, this dude knows everybody I know. It's crazy.
Right,
People from
right.
my neighborhood, people I went to high school with. He just knew, he knows too many people that I know. But let me tell you this, sir. You were at Buckeye Youth Center.
Mm-hmm.
My mother was a youth leader and actually retired from Buckeye Youth Center.
Oh, what was her name?
Well, she has the same last name, Lula Hawes. Mm-hmm.
I probably do know her because
Let me
but
tell
the
you
lady
something.
that ran Buckeye Youth Center was this lady named Miss Gentry,
Yes, I know.
and I went to school with her granddaughter. You know, I didn't say her name, but her granddaughter and her grandson. Them, you know what I'm saying? So they was like, ah. But yeah, I was in Buckeye. I was in
How long
Pod
were you
5
there?
for 3 months.
Okay. Yeah, because you didn't stay there long. Like most people, I think they stayed there maybe upwards to a year at most.
A
maybe.
year was the most, but my sentence was 6 months to a year. So when I was 3 months in, I was like, man. And
Now
I
let me
just
tell
walked
you
out.
that I tell people this, and then we're gonna get back to your story. But I'm gonna tell y'all a story about my mama real quick. I did a show on here last year during Black History Month because my mother is a Black history maker. She was one of the first Black female wrestlers ever, and used to travel with the likes of the Globetrotters and major entertainers at that time. And they would all, pretty much do like the Chitlin circuit. She was real good friends with people. If you like wrestling or followed it back then, like Bobo Brazil. And I mean, I showed pictures of her and her wrestling pictures. Her whole shtick was they looked like models, but they whooped ass. And when my mother retired from being a wrestler, she and her partner, her wrestling tag team partner, they both, actually three of them, it was three of them that went and worked for the state and worked in these roles as youth leaders and stuff. And my mom would say how the first year she worked with girls, and she said she didn't want to work with girls no more because every day she's like, every day I have to fight. She's like, I gotta fight you, beat the bitch ass every day. That was her thing. But when she got over with the boys, they gave her more respect. But there would be a time or two where a boy might try her. And she said, now this is back in the olden days, okay? All right. But she's like, she'd be like, okay, the dude's getting smart with her, whatever. And she'd be like, you know what? We should go in this room. I need to have a talk with you in this room. And the other youth leaders would be outside and they'd hear all this ruckus and bang and stuff getting thrown around in the room.
Yeah, back then it was legal to beat a
exactly.
a kid.
That's what I was gonna say. Not that it was legal, but she knew to go into a room. Okay, she took the boys in their room, and they come out very differently. Her friends, who I considered like my uncles and stuff, that come to our house, became very good friends with my dad and everything. But they would laugh and talk about how my mom would take a dude. They be these big, how teenage boys are strong and big, and everything. And they be thinking she a woman, not most of the boys, but there's always one that's gonna try you. And she would take that little nigga in a room and change his whole mind, okay? And come out. She said end up being one of her favorites. They fall in love with her at that point.
But that's how you used to get cool. Like it was a dude named Mr. Jackson in there, Mr. Langhorn. Them dudes, they'll beat you up. They ain't care.
They would put some in. My uncles would be like, people would be like, should we go in there? They'd be like, no, she all right. She got this. They wouldn't even worry about my mama. So I know if my mama could fight, I know the men could fight. Okay.
Yeah. And they was big too.
I be trying to tell these people, don't let the light skin fool you. I got something for you. Don't play with me. I was raised by a warrior. Don't fuck with me. All right. Anyway. All right. Back to you, JT. You were at Buckeye Youth Center. That's crazy. Okay. That's cool. Anyway. So you were there, and then so you did juvie time. So when you got arrested at 19, did you think it was going to be like an in and out kind of thing? Is that why you weren't scared?
Oh no, hell no. I knew that was I knew that was super time, but I didn't understand time then, like how I understand now. I didn't understand time then because my out date was 2013 back then, and that was 1989. So my out date was 2013.
You would have been 30.
Man, I couldn't even.
Jesus.
Yeah, I couldn't even see that. So when I went to jail, we was fighting. We was like, it was like we was on the street. You went in there, and then all my homies that I pretty much grew up with. I ain't gonna say no names, but a lot of us, it was a whole bunch of just Columbus dudes. So I'm down in Madison because I played sports. So like all the sports dudes kicked it all the time together. So I was at Madison, and I got there in March of 1990, and I got rolled out September 1990 for fighting the police, fighting the CO. So then they rolled me to Lebanon, which was a level 3.
Lebanon, yes, Jesus.
So I'm 20 years old in Lebanon, and that's where it's
maximum.
real.
And that's maximum security, isn't it?
That's close max. So it's level 3 and level 4. Level 4 is max. Level 3 is close.
Okay.
But it didn't make no difference because we were all in the same place. So we all max, And this before they got luxurious in jail. We was washing clothes in buckets.
What you mean luxurious?
Or in the shower. What? They got washing machines now. They got what? They got single showers. We had the car wash. It's 10 people in the shower trying to get wet. That was crazy. Now that I think about it, that was
what movie is that? Where was that, like Shawshank or some movie where they show people going to prison and they're all in the shower together or something, and it's like or maybe it was Malcolm X, because it's like that's when it was real, like when you go to
Malcolm
the shower.
X, yeah, I think that was Malcolm
X.
And they tried, I think that was Malcolm X. I think it is
too.
But no, Jada, you can get off, baby. You don't got to stay on no more. She like, are y'all all about ready? I can see her face when she's saying this.
Actually, we can let her up real quick if she wants to say something about that. I won't. But Jada, you can't stay up here long, girl, because you too young.
Yeah,
too young. Is. But here, I'll give her a link so she can come up. Hold on. So now this link is just for little Jada. She wants to support her daddy. Oh, okay. Oh, it dropped both places. That's cool. All right. So Jada, come on up, babe. Just click that link. It's going to ask you to connect your mic and camera, and you click that as well, babe. So that link is just for little Jada. All right. So, wow. So you go there. How long? So at
Hold on, I'm texting her so I can tell her to click the link.
Okay.
Okay. But
Can I, you know what, JT, there's something else. There was something, and I should have looked this up before I came. There was something you had posted probably 2 years ago on Facebook. Okay. Remember I told you I read it and it just messed me up.
Oh yeah, you talking. Yeah, you talk. Yeah. Yeah.
You know where that post is? Can you send it to me?
Ooh.
Do you remember when you did that post?
Oh, that was like 2020 when I was in the halfway house.
Yeah,
possibly. I think that was. Hold on. Yeah, I think that was when I was in the halfway house. Hold on.
I'll see if I can find it because I may have even screenshot it, but I would love to read it if you wanted me to read, if you would allow me to read it, because you shared, I think, some of the harshest part of it already. But when I read that post, I saw you in a whole different light. You are so resilient, and I'll try to find that. Maybe we can I can read that before you leave. All right.
Okay.
Ask Jada, is she having problems? Oh, here she go. Wait a minute.
Where's she at?
She coming.
Or bad self.
Hold on. Hold on. Here we go.
Hi.
Hi, Jada.
Look at her.
How are you?
Good.
Good.
Yeah.
So you said you were learning some things about your dad that
Yeah.
you didn't know? What did
Yeah.
you learn today that you didn't know?
I didn't know that he had to like spend like 25 years in juvie. I didn't know he had to do all that.
Yeah, he didn't have to, he didn't actually do that much time, but that's what they gave him. And God gave him back 10 years. And then we're gonna talk about what he did with him when he got him back.
What are you doing,
Are
little
you
girl?
proud of your dad? Now, Jada, how old are you?
10.
And she's very smart, you guys, very pretty, very sweet girl too. You proud of your daddy? Are you proud of him?
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you remember at all when he was in prison?
Yeah.
When
Me and my sister, we used to go visit him, and we used to eat hot chicken all the time.
we sure did. She is not lying.
We used to eat hot chicken all the time. Then my sister, she wouldn't like it because she said it was too hot.
Let me
Yeah.
ask you, was that scary to go see him there or no? Were you excited to go see him when you see him?
Yeah, it was like about like nighttime when I was sleeping. So I was really confused on why my mom was getting me up, but then she told me why. So
JT, you got out of prison this last time in 2020.
2020. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so
Yeah.
in 2020 you got out. So that means she was 6. So
Yep, she
you
was
literally, that means her mama was literally, she was baking basically when you first went in, pretty much. Is that what we're saying?
Yeah, Jada was. I'm gonna tell you a story. So, I caught my case in 2013 before my daughter passed. So when my daughter passed, I was on the run. Actually, I was staying with my dude Rob. So, I had my kids all the time. Like I always had my 2 youngest because, So Jada was 1 and Maji was 2. So I was riding up Franklin Park and the police came up like this way. So I stopped at the stop sign, right there at Franklin Park when you get ready to turn in the Miller. So I stopped right there and I let the police go past because I was on my way to my sister Leaky's house. So as soon as I turned to the left, he busted a U-turn. Pulled me over. Now, mind you, Jada's 1, Maji's 2, and I got both of them in the back of the truck in their car seats. If they wasn't with me, I'd have took off. But they was with me, and they was asleep, matter of fact, in their car seats. And I didn't want no big old thing with my kids. So when they pulled me over, I just jumped out the car and threw my hands up. They came out with their guns and stuff, whatever. I said, man, I got my kids.
Do you think they recognized you from something they were looking for you, or they can't? Why did they come out with their guns?
They said my tent was too dark on the windows. No, but they pulled their guns out because I just jumped out the truck.
Oh, okay.
And they ain't know what I was about to do. You know what I'm saying? So when I just jumped out the truck and threw my hands up, when they jumped out the car with their guns and shit, I'm like, man, my kid's in the car. My name is James Turner. I got a felony warrant for aggravated drug trafficking. You know what I'm saying? So dude was like,
you had a warrant at that time. You knew that when you jumped out? Oh,
I was on the run.
You knew it was a rap. Okay, I got you.
Yeah, I knew it was a rap. That's why I said, you know what I'm saying? So I just didn't want my kids, you know what I mean? I ain't want them. So, he was like, put your hands behind your back. They was nice though. So he was like, okay, man, put your hands behind your back. I was like, man, my kid's in the car. Just let me call my sister so I can have my sister come and pick them up.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, they put me in the car. They ran me just to make sure I said who I was and all that. See, I had a felony warrant in Portsmouth. And they was like, okay. So it was like, man, why would you be riding around with your kids in the car? I know you got a warrant. I was like, I was just going on my sister's, man. So he let me use his phone. I called my sister Leaky. They come and got my kids. You know what I'm saying? Because I knew I was gone anyway. My Jada was still asleep.
When they arrived to get her, she was asleep.
Yeah, when my sister came to pick them up, Jada, she was still asleep.
What about
And
Samaj?
Maji was just waking up because they didn't make me take them out the car. They left them in the car and they kept checking on them until my sister got there. But they was asleep. So when my sister came, Maji woke up and Jada was still asleep. And yeah, they was in the car when I got arrested. So it was like when I went in this last time, it was over. I was like, man, I'm cool. I was just like, I'm good.
Wow. Okay. So that was okay. So and just
That
so
was in
I clarify this
2015.
for, huh?
That was in 2015. Yeah.
So that's what I want to clarify something. So originally I mentioned that JT went into prison the first time at 19. He came out at what, 35?
34. Yep, 35. Yep,
34, 35 years old, which was 10 years earlier than he was supposed to come out, pretty much.
Right. I got parole. Yeah.
And then 5 years later. Now let's talk about this. When you came out of prison the first time, you just went back to doing what you was always doing. Went
Straight back to the street.
Because you was like, that's all I know anyway. Let me ask you this: when you were in prison, did you sell drugs or do anything like that in there? Like, I know drugs are in prison. So
yeah.
Okay, we'll talk about that later. All right. So like, well,
that's for the other channel. That's for the other channel.
Full-blown career. All right. So you come out, you're doing the same thing, and then 5 years later, you get picked up.
No, 11. I was out 11 years.
Oh, what?
Before I caught that case.
Oh, you were out 11 years, but did 5.
Went back and did 5. Yeah, I was out from 2004 to 2000. Well, 2004 I caught my case in 2013, but I got out on bond, and that's when I went on the run.
Gotcha. Okay.
So then when they caught me, I went back, and that was in 2015.
So in 2015, he went back and did 5 more years. Now, when you got in there that second time, you've got you at this point, when you were arrested the second time, you were the father of how many kids?
Woo, well, Jada, my youngest. So let me see.
All right, Nick Cannon.
7.
Yes,
Oh,
7.
it would be 7. It'd be.
He was a father, 7 kids. How many baby mamas, JT? They got to ask.
Hold on. Wait a minute.
7 kids.
Okay. So hold on. Let's go back. Are we talking my biological kids or my kids?
Yeah, biological kids.
Okay. My biological kids is Jada, Samaj, Demian, Keelan, and Kiera.
5.
And a maybe.
Okay, so 5 are biological. The other 2 are your you consider them your children.
Yeah.
Okay. So 5 kids by how many baby mamas? 5?
4.
4. Okay. Because you're a player. Players play.
No, I'm not. No,
you were a player.
I mean, 2 of my kids got the same. You silly. I
Okay. Players play. All right. So that was all about, what you say, the game doesn't change. Basically, so what you're saying is at the time, you were in the life, you got money, you out here, you tricking off, and you having a lot of women was part of the game. Is that what we're saying?
That was part of the game.
That's part of the whole scene, huh?
That was part of the. See, people don't understand. Like, it ain't just the drug, the addicts who have addictions. See, that's what people don't understand.
Speak on it. Say that again now.
Being a drug dealer is an addiction.
Ooh.
Because you get addicted to the money, what comes with the money. Buying food stamps, getting boosters, you know what I'm saying, to go school shopping for your kids, TVs for nothing.
So let me ask you this. What you're saying is, as a drug dealers have access to things because of their money and because of their reach. Because see, I don't think it's all about the money either. It's about who you get to know. And some people think you got to know, you got to run in a certain circle in order to have access. But what you did was you found a way to gain access to what you needed and wanted through this life too.
Yeah.
That's what I'm hearing.
Yeah, because you didn't have to spend money on that. I could stack my money. It was the drugs. I could just pay them with drugs.
Okay, well hold on. Let's let Jada ask or say whatever she wants to say. Jada, what is it that you want to tell us about your dad that you don't think most people know?
She just clicked off.
Yeah, she accidentally hit a button. I know. She'll find it. She'll get it back. Can somebody, actually, I might get that. I'm going to drop the link again, Jada. If you can hear me, I'll let you come up and give, final thought if you want to. But until she comes, we can continue talking.
So Lou A, when he was released the first time, was there anything he was missing and or feels would have discouraged him from activities that landed him back?
Hold on 1 second. I want to ask Jada. Hey, Jada, tell us one thing about your dad that you would want people to know about him that you don't think his friends or people would know.
I feel like he's a good father and he treats his kids right. And sometimes we be getting on his nerves. He still loves us though. And
does he spoil y'all?
Yes.
Yeah.
He tries his best.
And he enjoys you guys. I know that. He gets excited by his kids, honey. Always around him. That is so sweet. And anything else you want to tell us? Anything you want to tell your daddy?
I love him.
Oh, I love you too. My duders. That's my baby. I love you Jada, too, baby.
I'm going to let you go now, baby. But I thank you for coming up here. And I thank you for telling us that your daddy is a good daddy and that he spoils you and he takes good care of you. And we're going to make sure he stays on the straight and narrow, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. You probably never even knew your dad did anything. She'll know that, daddy. That's so sweet. He's a good guy. All right. Well, thank you, Jada, baby. I'm going to let you go. You have a good night.
Okay, I'm not going to sleep until 12, though.
Oh, Lord. Okay.
Bye, babe.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Oh, okay. So, all right. Let's take one more quick break. And then I'm going to ask you a little bit about what you got going on now. And then we're going to go over to V. Lenore Uncut and just kick it there for a little bit. See if we can get some dirt over there.
Right. You're silly.
We'll be back right after this. If you guys have some show ideas or somebody you know that you might want to see on the show, we can interview and find out a little bit about their lifestyle. Here's how you can reach me. right, y'all. Okay, so JT, so you were telling us you were out 11 years, but those 11 years you went back to doing the same old thing. You went back
Yeah.
in for a second stint for 5 years, and
Mhm.
during that time, I mentioned a tragedy that changed your life. What was that
Well,
situation that happened while
well,
you were in prison?
are you talking about when my dad passed?
Nope.
Oh
Your
no,
daughter?
you talking about my daughter? When my daughter passed, my baby?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I wasn't in prison. That's when I was on the run. Remember, I just said she died February uh February 19th, 2014.
Mhm.
I went back to jail April 4th, 2015.
So, okay, so let's talk about it. What about that situation? How did your daughter die?
She died of a heroin overdose.
And how did that change you? I mean, that's a crazy question to ask because obviously when you're baby, when you lose your baby, and how old was she at the
Mm,
time?
she was 25.
So she's 25 years old. Um, you're in the life, right?
Mhm.
You at that time, were you selling heroin?
Yeah, I was going down to Portsmouth selling heroin at that time.
And then she dies of a addiction of an overdose. Did you know that she even used?
Okay, so before I started selling heroin, I was selling crack. So I
Mhm.
would go back and forth down there. The thing that made me switch to the heroin was because we had went down there one time, and this dude that went with me, he had the heroin, and he made all his money in like one day and was ready to go come back to Columbus, where we sitting, and how much money he made. It was like I'm doing the wrong shit. So
Mm-mm.
I came back, and I didn't know nothing about it really, and my
Mhm.
dude sort of turned me out to it. Who, I mean, helped me, hook me up. So after, in hindsight now, after seeing how the addicts reacted to that, I knew what she was doing. You know what I'm saying? Like, uh, she was living with me.
She was living with
So
you.
yeah, she was living with me and my baby mom. So this when Jada was first born.
Hmm.
And like when I went down there, I would come back with so much stuff for Jada. I had 4 mason jars, like big mason jars, like this, and it was full of nothing but silver. It was for Jada. They was Jada's jars, but it was like 50-cent pieces, dollars, but they was filled. It was 4 of them, you know.
Hmm.
And one time I came back from out of town, and they were empty. So my
Hmm.
baby mom asked me, she was like, "Did you take that money out of the jar?" And I was like, "No." And my daughter
Mm.
was gone. And that was like what did it. So I put her
So
out.
you're like, she's stealing money to get drugs, basically.
Yeah. And when I'm sitting there talking to her, telling her what's going on, like, why would you steal your sister money? She sitting there in mid conversation and just going to sleep. So that's when I knew. So then I was like, you can't stay here no more. You got to go. We sort of had a thing. She cried, "Dad, where I'm gonna go?" and boom, and all of that. So she went. So after that, I kept talking to her. That was still my baby, but
Hmm.
I couldn't have that around my newborn,
Hmm.
because Jada wasn't even 6 months old. So,
And
uh,
at that time, so you were living with Jada's mom
Jada's mom, yeah, me, Jada's
and
mom, and Jada.
your oldest daughter comes to live with you all.
With us, yeah. So she called me one day and she was like, "Dad, I'm going to Maryhaven. I swear to God, you know what I'm saying?" Because I told her,
let me stop you for a second. Most of my viewers they're not from here. So Maryhaven, at that time, were they only women at Maryhaven? But it was in the
they had separate. But she was in they got one on Bixby for girls, strictly for girls, and they got the one on Allen Creek. You know, that's where I think that's co-ed.
Yeah, I think
but so. She was like, "Dad, I'm going to Maryhaven, tomorrow. Can I come and stay the night?" I was like, "No, you still can't come stay the night." So she went. She called me. She's like, "Dad, I'm in." So I was going to visit her every visit day. I was, I felt good. My baby was good. And I'll never forget it. So on Valentine's Day, she graduated. She graduated from Maryhaven. Yeah, from the program. Mm-hmm. So on Valentine's Day, she called me and said, "Can you take me to get a phone with the book?" So I'm like, "Yeah." So I took her to get her phone. She wanted some Bath and Body Works. We went to Bath and Body Works. All of that. We kicked it all day. Mm-hmm. So I'm like, "Man, I'm proud of you, babe. You know what I'm saying? You're about to get her place because they took my grandkids from her for having drugs in her system. And she was working to get her kids back. So I was happy. She was clean. She completed the program. Like, she did it, And so I was still running back and forth out of town. So I'm like, yeah, I got to go out of town. I'll see you when I get back. Mm-hmm. So she like, we part our ways or whatever. So I go home, I'm chilling. And I get a phone call like 11:30, 11:45. And she like, "Dad, can you come and get me?" And I'm like, "Get you from where?" She like, "From here. I don't want to be here no more." Like, So I'm like, "Man, girl, hell no. You better chill. I'm not about to come pick you up, She was like, "Oh my God, Dad, what about me? What about my life?" I was like, "Kiera, you are good. You about to be, you know what I'm saying?" And she was just like, "What about me? What about my life and all this and all that?" So then I was just like, "I love you." And she was like, "Man, Dad, please come get me." I was like, "No, I'm not coming to get you."
Well, where was she? I'm trying to understand.
She was in Maryhaven.
So she wanted you to come get her out of the program.
Yeah, they was just waiting on her to get a place. She had already graduated, but she had to stay there until her apartment became available.
So she was asking you, "Just come get me from here. Let me stay with you," pretty much. Is that what she was saying?
Yeah, she just wanted out of there. Mm-hmm. So I told her no, love her. We hung up, and my sister Star.
I understand. Take your time.
My sister Star called me, and she was like, "Brother, the ambulance here, Kiera passed out." So I'm like, like, how you just be like, you don't think nothing. So I tell Star, and I'm mad because now I know she done left Maryhaven. So
she had left Mary Haven and she had gone to your sister's house. But when she got to the
no,
sister's house, she
no,
passed out.
she left evidently when I wouldn't come get her. She called some other people that she used to get high with. So they come get her, whatever. So Star called me. Then she was like, brother, that's when she told me all that. So I'm mad. And I'm like, man, well, they taking her to the hospital. She was like, yeah. I said, well, call me when she get to the hospital, man. And I'm cussing her out. You know what I mean? So she like, okay, brother. So like 10 minutes later, she called me back like, brother Kiera gone. So I'm like, where'd she go? And she like, no, she gone. And it just like, it would never register.
Take your time, babe. Sharia Moore, thank you very much, sweetheart. Villanor and Chad, thank you, JT, for sharing your story with us. Thank you, Sharia Moore.
Yeah.
Your
But
someone else, Miss Douglas, I think it is,
mm,
said, I want to make sure I got the right name. Said she loves you. Alan Magwood said he spoiled all the kids and he's proud of you. I want to say, is it Miss Douglas? I don't want to say the wrong name, ma'am. I got to find you. But people are feeling you, sending you prayer hands in the chat.
yeah, I appreciate it. But
So when you learned of her loss, and at this time you're on the run at this time.
and Jada was when all this occurred, Jada's mom was picking her up. I had Jada. So when I got the news, she was standing right there. And she just like, I don't know.
So you told me, which is why I sort of mentioned it in my TED Talk, that that was obviously it's hard for any parent to lose a child because that's just not the proper order of life. It's not supposed to happen like that,
Right. Right.
And that's another reason why I admire you. I admire your strength and your resilience because I tell people I'm not that strong. If something were to happen to my child right now, I tell people all the time, you might as well dig 2 graves because it's a wrap for me. The fact that but you didn't even have that choice. Let me just be clear. You didn't have that choice because see, I only got 1 kid. So if something happened to my kid, it's a wrap, it's a wrap. But
Yeah.
your other kids still needed daddy, you
Right.
know? And
Right.
so you have lost this child. So it's bad enough to lose a child, but what you shared with me most specifically was the fact that it was very hard for you because you sold heroin. And here
Yeah.
it was that your daughter had overdosed from heroin, the very thing that you had sold. So once you were finally arrested that second time, and then you are sentenced, were you sentenced 5 or were you sentenced longer than that and got out?
Yeah, when I was in Portsmouth, I went to court and everything. So they had sent me 5 years, but I was out on bond. So I got a lawyer from down there. because I knew he knew the judges. You know what I'm saying? So when I got on a bond, they gave me 30 days to get my affairs in order and turn myself in. I was supposed to turn myself in September 30th, 2013. Well, on September 30th, it was over. I mean, I'm a runner. I'm not about to walk myself into jail. Catch me when you can.
Well, hold on. Let's be clear. You got that shit honest because you said you ran away from every foster home.
Man, you hear me?
So you done ran from the jail, you done ran from the foster home. So you damn sure ain't gonna sit around and wait for them to come arrest you. No, that's what you had.
Get out of here.
You've been in prison 15 years. Yeah,
you feel me? I ain't doing that. So I was on the run. I was on the run 2 years. Well, a year and a half. And then
let me tell you this. Miss Valerie in the chat said you are helping someone on today, Jimmy. Thank you for your story. A lot of people are saying that. Yes. Okay, so you go back in the second time. When you went in the second time, did you immediately say this time is going to be different since they caught my ass?
Man, listen. Let me tell you. I'm gonna tell you this right here. I don't know if people understand. I could do jail, like, and it's just crazy that it took me to get locked up again that time to really think about this. I could do jail. It's nothing. It was the process and the humiliation.
What you mean?
That you go through being processed in, humiliated, going up in the county jail. I stayed 6 months in the county jail, 5th floor. Horrible. Then getting taken to CRC. Got to get up early in the morning. CRC. That's the reception center.
Okay.
That's correction
we
reception
don't know
center.
all this damn logo.
Okay. But I'm trying to tell you.
This prison lingo and shit.
So then you got to go to CRC, go through that same humiliating process again. Then you got to sit in CRC, which is maximum. You locked up in the cell 23 hours a day. Got to get marched back and forth with the child 3 times a day. Then you got to go through the process again to go to your prison.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
We're going to talk about that over there because I got questions about that. And I want people to understand there's a difference between jail and prison.
Oh, yeah.
And jail is more dangerous than fucking prison sometimes, ain't it?
Way more. Way more. So, I mean, like when I was in the county, I seen the dude almost get murdered. Like, it's just crazy. Like, because like in prison, you got a lot of guards. In the county, especially on the 5th floor, they call that was gladiator school. We fights every day. So in the county, or in the workhouse. Well, not in the workhouse no more because they got the cameras. But in the county, it's 2-3 guards for the whole range. And these is different sections.
What?
Like they not open. They not open. So when the guards come around, they come around. Like it's dark. Like that's how it seems. It's dark. And the only way you gonna get the guard is if you bang on the gate. And it's gonna take them about 10-15 minutes to get there after you do that. Yeah. So when there used to be fights when dudes get drugged, they get drugged in the county.
All right.
Like I'm talking about drug, blood everywhere on them, and then the CO just come in like calling medical, get on the alarm. You know what I'm saying? What they gonna lock you down? We already locked down.
Okay, again, I gotta go to movies and shit. I'm sorry, but okay, I can think what movie this is where they had. Oh, it wasn't a movie. Well, what? Yeah, no, it wasn't a movie. Do you ever watch Snowfall?
Yeah.
Like it was one of the first seasons when he got locked up and he was.
And they was tyranny. Yeah.
And it's just bunk beds and a bunch of folks in
Yeah.
one room.
In one
You
room.
know shit's going
But-
down in there.
Yeah, it's going down. You got to think about this. You got about 30 dudes with 2 phones.
Oh,
Oh, yeah. Oh, it's only 2 phones in there. Who getting on the phone? Who calling
How
home,
long you
though?
get on the phone? About 15 minutes? Is that
You
right?
get 15 minutes. Yeah, you get 15 minutes.
Child.
Nah, it's oh yeah, county crazy.
Hold on 1 second. El Blue said, born and raised in New York City. The crack era was something else. Your story is so similar to so many of my friends and family. A lot didn't make it. Glad you fought your way out, my brother.
Thank you, man. Thank
Hi,
you.
Chocolate
Appreciate
Up
that.
TV. Welcome. Darren J said, exactly, jail and prison are 2 different animals. I be telling people that. Like, you know,
Yeah.
there's a gentleman right now that we know it from YouTube that is doing he's doing jail time. In fact, he hasn't even had wait, does he? Maybe this is his sentencing. Or I don't think it is though. Anyway, he's in there for like 3 months in jail. You know, he ain't in prison. He in jail. He already been in a couple of fights. You know, had
Oh, yeah.
issues. But I guess that's a given, right?
It's a given. You gonna fight? I mean, man, you gonna fight somebody unless you like. And I know people be thinking this crazy. Unless you like, when I went to county this last time, I ain't have to fight nobody because I had I was on the floor. Everybody in my tank had a body. Every last one of them. Everybody in my tank had a body. So, like, the main dudes though, them was my little dudes. Them was my little niggas. So I got the best rack in the corner on the bottom. You know what I'm saying? And I was chill. And but they ran the tank though.
What does that mean? They ran it. They were in charge. That's what you're saying?
Yeah. Yeah. If I want to get on the phone, I'll just
This
be like,
shit is
bro, I
foreign
need
to
to
me.
get on the phone. Hey, I'm telling you. I'm telling you.
I don't know nothing about
Hey, hey, tell you, I'll be like, bro, I want to get on the phone. Be like, yeah, this your last call, bro. Like my OG want to get on the phone. Like, man, it's crazy.
Okay.
So jail and prison are 2 different. They 2 different things, man.
When you got to
Because prison, you got more like it's more open.
Wait a minute. Hold on. Alan just said. Alan said, "Man, listen, couldn't wait to get to prison."
Yeah, because now you.
Damn.
No, for real, he ain't lying. Because now you can get your TV.
No,
you get your.
woo,
You know what I'm saying? You get your all that. Yeah.
Who said that? Y'all. Oh my God, Alan. Shout, Alan, you're going to have to come over to the other channel too, boo. You can click the damn link. Oh my God. Okay, well, look, let me fast forward this conversation a little bit because I do want to get over there. Okay.
To the
we
other
over
channel.
there, but we're going to shut down 2 of these links, to be honest.
Okay. Okay.
Let's fast forward. You came out, you did your 5 years, you changed your life, you got involved in a lot of different programs while you were in there. You got some certification, you got some education, you got somebody, I don't know, somebody shook some sense in you. Might have been God. I think God had something to do with it.
Yeah, that was definitely divine intervention. Definitely
and you just decided this was going to be different and you ain't going back no more, huh?
I was done. Like, man, I had dudes. You know what was the most like disgusting thing? When I walked back into prison. I did 15 years. Right. So I know a lot of people.
Well, let me ask you before you go there. That's what I was going to ask you. You said you knew the people in the jail and they had your back. So when you got to prison, I was going to ask you, did you know them? But I forgot. Yeah, of course you probably did know them.
Man, I did. I went to like
15 years.
Yeah, and I went to 8 different prisons.
What?
Yeah. It was like foster homes. I was in Lebanon, Madison, Orient, Pickway, Noble, Belmont.
wait, you went to, you said 8 different prisons in 15 years?
No, in 20 years.
No, oh, okay. So you're counting both
I'm
things
just counting
together.
all of them. Yeah.
But wait, before you got to the 5-year, how many prisons did you have to go into during that 15-year stint?
I was at Madison, then I rode to Lebanon, then I rode back to Madison, then I rode to Belmont, then I rode to Orient, then I went to Ross, and I went home from Ross. That was 6.
JT, that means you almost had to start over every time you went to a new place and establish yourself. So you got to get in a fight almost every time you get in prison, just to let.
Oh no. Once you make your name, once you like
even
prison,
from
like
another prison.
Yeah, prison like the streets. So I mean, real talk though. So I rode from Lebanon. So it's other Columbus dudes from Lebanon that was in Lebanon with me that they stayed down there, but I'm in Madison, right?
Mm-hmm.
We write each other back and forth.
Oh, y'all right? Yeah, y'all ain't got shit else to do.
So it'll be word, it'll be like, oh yeah, the Columbus dudes just fought the Cincinnati dudes, or Columbus dudes just fought the Dayton dudes, and JT did this, or such and such did this, or such. I ain't gonna say no names, but that's what we did. Oh yeah, we fighting. Sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. You know what I'm saying? But hey, for sure. So it's spread. Like, so when you go to another institution, like, oh, that's JT. JT, come on, we got you. You know what I'm saying? And you there. It's just like that.
Ciao. Okay. So JT, we're gonna talk about that too. So you did your 5 years, you changed your life. When you got out, you went to a halfway house. And while you were in the halfway house, you decided you were gonna get into another program. And
I did your program. I did your program.
My program.
I sure did.
So when I met you, so let me explain how this whole thing kind of happened on my side of things. So I'm at this point, I was working for a nonprofit, and we had a professional development class that we would teach to the community. So if you needed a job, you come to us. We will walk you through how, rebuilding a resume, walk you through interview tips, helping you with your communication skills, help you understand what workplace ethics looks like and how you should, present yourself in the workplace. And so this is stuff we would teach anybody who needed a job, anybody. You could have no degree or you could have a PhD. And honestly, I've had all of the above in my classes. But we also had a contract with a halfway house program that was here in our community. And they would offer our program to their clients, and it was voluntary. So it wasn't like you were forced to be in it. You volunteered to be a part of this program, and it was a 2-week boot camp. And we called it boot camp for a reason, because we worked your ass, right?
Oh, we was in there all day. Get up early in the morning, be sleepy, go in there, get your coffee, sit at the desk.
You better be dressed appropriately. You better act.
And here y'all come.
Who is y'all? What?
What's the dude's name? What's the black dude's name that worked with y'all
Victor.
too?
Victor.
Yeah. It was 3 of y'all. And y'all were just and you did not take, that's one thing I can say. You did not take no mess. Because I remember the one time the dude got mad or something and he kept talking out of turn. You said it so, you checked him so politely. And I was like, well, damn. And he shut up. That was yeah.
Look, because here's the thing. So we had clients that would come through there, right? And usually it'd be sprinkled in with our other clients, like, and everybody would come in. And here was the thing. Some people used to ask that weren't a part of the program, well, wait a minute, you're gonna have these folks that are just getting out of prison in here with these other people? Yeah. Like, why the hell not? Like, everybody's a human being. And if everybody goes to they all need jobs. Last I checked, that PhD candidate over there, they need a job. And this dude that's just getting out of this halfway house, he needs a job, right? So with that stated, everybody needs a job. And y'all might end up working at the same place. Don't get it twisted. And you don't know the background of everybody that you work with or that you even live next door to. So now why
Right.
are you mad that somebody who's paid their debt to society is in this room with you, right? But in
Right.
this, so I already dealt with that, and I would help people. I would meet people where they were. Some people had more experience than others. I could talk to them about certain things that another person I may have to teach them from scratch. This program in particular, we had a very special contract where JT had been not only did he volunteer to be in the program, he had to be selected to be in
Yeah.
the program.
Yeah.
And so he and it was like 25 of them were selected in this program, men and women, mostly men, mostly Black, but that is
Mhm.
the demographics of justice involved individuals anyway, right?
Yeah.
And so we'd have a room full of people, and this class that we were teaching was all justice involved people. So it wasn't a mixture. It was all of these people that were living in the halfway houses, the men and the women had signed up and been selected for this program. They come in and they have a contract with us for the first 2 weeks of this 6-month program that they were a part of. But the first 2 weeks, they come and they spend it with me. Now, the thing was initially, see, I ran the program, but I had 2 other facilitators. But because my passion is for this population, I stepped up a little more because I wanted to
Yeah.
be there. Then the guy that you mentioned, Victor worked for me, and Victor got sick, and so he couldn't
He
even.
did.
I'm supposed
He
to.
couldn't even be there.
Yeah, so
Yeah, I
had
remember
to
that.
step in. It didn't hurt my feelings, but what I would say is this: I would come in there every day, and yes, I did get disrespected by that guy. But by the end, who was hugging and crying on my freaking shoulder on the last day at the graduation?
Mhm.
That
Yeah.
big old teddy bear. Okay, he wanted to fight with me a little bit at first. He wanted to give me the business, but at the graduation, he was crying and hugging and thanking. Okay.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
I experienced that. Some of the toughest folks that would come in my classroom understood that I had a passion for them. I am a very sensitive soul too. I'm a crybaby.
Mhm.
So JT cried. We cry together, child.
We have moments in
cried
there. We have moments in
many
there.
times, yes.
Mhm.
But JT and one other individual in particular, I became very, very close with, and the both of them stood out so much to me for different reasons. And JT, where did you sit in that class?
At the front.
Who told you to sit in the front?
You.
I ain't tell you to sit in the front. I
You
didn't even
did.
tell you. No, I didn't. You sat in the front all by yourself.
Oh yeah, I did. Yes. Yeah, you're right. You're right. You're right.
You
You're right.
came in there and
You're right.
and so
Because I
did
thought I had got in trouble one time, but I didn't. No.
for what?
I'm somewhere else. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I did.
Oh,
I did.
okay. Yeah, no. I'm talking about my program. You came in, you sat in the front, and so did Paul. Paul is the other individual that I was talking about.
Yeah, Paul
who
said
has-
we both sat in the same row.
Yep, y'all sit in the front row every single day for 2 weeks. They were in there with me 8 hours a day. JT, I would give them that we get a morning break, they get an afternoon break, and an hour lunch. JT didn't want to leave from lunch. JT wanted work on something else. He wanted to ask me questions. JT was determined that he was going to get the most out of this situation all around. And he had job interviews throughout that 2 weeks. You even landed a job, but you always had plans and you always had aspirations to do other things. And you did them. You got your CDL. It took you a while to find a company because, look, everybody, people are biased out here. And it's hard sometimes for a lot of business owners to give people a second chance. Now, I can tell them a million reasons why they need to give a second chance, but some get it and some don't. You were blessed to have opportunities. You drove for a couple years, and now you are doing something else. What are you doing now, JT?
Well, I came off the road because my passion is for people. So, especially people who went juveniles and people that have been to prison, you know. And I used to always be on the road, and one of my friends was just like, bro, man, I want you to meet somebody. So I was like, all right, when I get back from out of town, you know, but we kept missing each other.
Mm-hmm.
So one weekend when I was in town, he was like, bro, I want you to meet this guy named Big Fred from Cleveland. And I was like, all right. He was like, you know, he gave me a smidget of what he wanted me to meet him for. He was like, we up at now I forget the name of that chicken place on Bryson, right there by the DNS. But anyway, we up there.
Mm-hmm.
So I go up there, I meet the dude, his name Fred Ward. And me and him was talking, and what he had to say, I became very interested.
Mm-hmm.
Because he was talking, he was teaching me. And see, I'm a learner. People don't understand, you know, knowledge is currency. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. But it's an intangible currency. And I just soaked it up. And when, and, you know, and it was like, he was like, oh, well, let me tell you, you know what a collateral sanction is? And I was like, no, I ain't never heard of it. He was like, well, have you ever went to apply for a job and you didn't get the job because of your background, because you had a felony, something like that? I said, yeah. He said, you ever went to try to get an apartment somewhere and they wouldn't give it to you because of your background? And I did go through that. I tried to get a part, and I was making great money. You feel me? So I was trying to get an apartment on College Park, on College. These dudes told me, no, they sent me an email, said, no, we can't approve you for this apartment because of your felony conviction. So I was like, wow, you know, yeah, that just happened to me. So he like, yeah, you know, and he was telling me about, you know, talking about building power. You know, and he was explaining the way to build power is in numbers, you know, and voting, because if you got 100,000 people that separate a vote between the people that's running candidates, mm-hmm. Then if you put 100,000 people together, you could change the vote. You right. Understand what I'm saying? So, you know, it interested me, and I was like, yeah, okay, but I was still on the road, so I was missing, and you know, all of that. And then last year, sometime when I came up the road, they had a seminar, so I went up there, and it was Lieutenant Governor was there, the senator was there, so I'm like, oh yeah, I like this. So a situation happened when I came off the road, and then I was driving locally, mm-hmm. And another situation happened when I almost got into an accident, and it freaked me, like for real. If you know anything about 18-wheelers, I was going down 270 like this, with the big part of the truck across 270, and the little part of the truck turned this way in the ice because it was snowing. This was just 6 months ago, and I just slid, and I was on the phone. I was like, babe, because I would, and it spooked me. So I called, you know, I got the truck under control, whatever, you know, and I didn't wreck, but I had to. So I called, and they was more worried about me getting to deliver my load than they was about if I was okay. And I turned the truck around, gave it to them, and I ain't been back since. So that's when I was like, you know what? And I told Fred, I was like, I'm off the road. He was like, I've been waiting on you. Come on. So that's this right here. Building Freedom Ohio, BFO. That's one organization that I'm dealing with right there. Mm-hmm. So, you know what I'm saying? And like I said, you know, our thing is juvie justice, collateral sanction, building power, voter registration, because voting is important. And I never really
You probably never had an opportunity to vote until recently.
Yeah.
To be honest.
So it's like you know, that's just so that's where I'm at, you know. So then, you know, dealing with him and talking with him and learning from him and going to seminars, you know, training in Minnesota, training in Cleveland, training in Minnesota, you know, learning this, learning that. So I'm just, you know, I'm embracing this and a few other organizations that's dealing in sort of the same thing. Like my dude, Tim Richardson, he got an organization called Epidemic where, you know, he going in and out the prisons. See, I want to do that. I want to get into the juveniles though and talk to the juveniles. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, it's just so many other organizations and so much that's just dealing with stuff like this. I'm an advocate for this. And I'm BFO, period. I'm building Freedom, Ohio. You know, but if another organization come like, hey, you know, can you speak here? Yeah, I'm doing that. Because I mean, to me, the cause is the same. You understand what I'm saying?
We have to help each other. One organization isn't going to change the world.
Right.
It has to be a collaboration because some organizations are expert in this area, while this one over here is expert in this area. So if we come together, then we can do a lot more, you know, and cover more ground together.
Exactly. And I'm on it. Like I'm on it. Like I got on the ground running. So that's when I started my own nonprofit, my organization, and it's called Juvies. You know, and what that's for is I want to help at-risk kids like myself. I was an at-risk kid. I wish I would have had somebody that could have pulled me at 10 years old, 12 years old. You know what I'm saying? That said, hey, I got a better way for you. I didn't have that. You know, and I'm not trying to be your dad. I'm not trying to, you know, do nothing. I want to be your friend. I just want to be somebody you can say, dang, I want to be like him when he grow up. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna tell you something. I got a mentee, right?
Come on, mentor with the mentee. Okay.
Oh, for sure. He 11.
Oh.
I ain't gonna say his name or nothing, but he 11. And his mom and dad just got murdered. Both of them. Together.
Here?
Yeah. When one of my guys called me and was like, I got a kid for you. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, okay, you know. So I went to meeting, you know. So yesterday I went to he had a little football game. So I went to his little football game. And when he got in my car, he got in the back seat. You know what I'm saying? My daughter does that all the time. But I understood it. So I'm driving and I'm having a conversation with him.
Wait a minute. Okay, I hear what you're saying. If a child got in so in my mind, if I go to pick up a kid or I'm, you know, the kid's gonna ride with me, if they were to get in the back seat, my mindset would have been like, that's right, because the kids sit in the back until they get to a certain age or whatever. Maybe his parents made him sit in the back. But from your perspective, you're thinking he was protecting himself because he didn't trust you.
Exactly. He didn't know me to trust me. Okay. So, you know, we riding, you know. So I'm asking him questions, talking to him, find out his self-interest, you know. And the more he opening up, the more he like, and then he just start talking on his own. I didn't have to ask questions. So I was like, you know, is there anything that you want to ask me? He was like, why do you do what you do? And I told him, I said, because I got a passion for kids that's going through and went through the same thing I went through as a kid. And I don't got nothing else to do. So why not? You know? So he asked me, why me? I said, why not you? So we ride. I'm like, okay. I was going to take him to get something to eat. This the greatest feeling in the world. Let me just say that, you know, just being around this little kid and how strong he trying to be. Because I done met his guardians, you know, and you know, build a rapport with them before I even met the kid. So we getting off the freeway, and there's a whole bunch of. I'm like, so where you want to go? Anywhere you want to go? Come on, let's go eat. He like, let's go to the Waffle House.
Of all the places.
All the places in the world.
Where you want to go? Can we go to a Waffle House?
Right.
For you. Okay.
So I got to
Like
make a U-turn on 161. So we go to the Waffle House. So he's steady just asking me questions and just talking to me. You know, we just had a nice little conversation. So when we come out of the Waffle House, you know, I get in the car. He get in the front seat.
Okay. So going, he in the back seat. By the time y'all leaving the Waffle House, he in the front
In the
seat.
front seat.
And you didn't even say it.
It just,
Like,
I didn't even, yeah, I ain't say no. Because it just showed me how fast change happens. You understand what I'm saying? That's how fast change happens. So it don't take nothing for you to take a little bit of time to change one of these kids' lives. You understand what I'm saying? So, you know, Dr. T, I talked to him and he trying to give me some interns so I could hire more mentors for these kids out here. Because that's what I'm looking for, you know, and that's what I'm gonna do. And my guy James Hill, me and him, we just went up to a middle school not too long ago, and the principal was like, "Oh yeah, we need you." So that's another door that's opened already. You know what I'm saying? So that's my thing. You know, when they ask for a mission statement, my mission statement is to say to kids.
let me ask you a question. I got 2 questions for you, and then we're gonna kick rocks and move on.
All right.
First question is, who in your life, name 3 people if you can, who changed or influenced your life for the better?
I needed Denise Douglas. That's my best friend from Cincinnati. Like,
How long has she been your best friend?
since I was 20. Leroy Kendrick.
Who is that?
That's a friend of mine.
Okay.
And it just, usually I don't like positive people like that. I'm not saying it like that, but somebody who can always see, because I'm you know, we was so the thing when I first started going to jail. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Expect the worst, but hope for the best.
Woo, child, that's my mama used to say that. I'd be
You
like,
know what I'm
"Mom,
saying?
you need to
So
be
we
more
look,
positive than that."
I look at life like that. You know what I'm saying? I get in a situation, okay, this is the worst case scenario.
But your
This
situations
is the best
have
case scenario.
Your situations have sort of molded that thinking. So I get it.
Yeah.
You've had some bad situations, but you overcame them. So it seems like, I mean, from childhood, you explained to us abandonment on the highest level by the people you're supposed to be able to trust the most, both for mama and the daddy. Did that to you. You've experienced loss. You've experienced police brutality. You've experienced the jail system from a teenager to an adult. You've lost a child. You've experienced your own abuse one way or the other. And so I could see if all of these things keep happening, you probably think it happens like this for everybody on some level. And then the other piece is I don't expect nothing else because this is all I've ever known. But you've been resilient through all of it. And God has used you and saved you and brought you through it all for a purpose.
Yeah.
And I know that even if what you're doing, if this isn't what you're doing in this moment, if you 5 years from now are doing something different, none of this would have been in vain, because I know your heart lies with helping people and helping people who've experienced the same things you've experienced. So anyway, you got one more?
No, but I was saying like I was telling you that saying because that's how I look at life. You know what I'm saying? He don't look at life like that. Everything he could find something positive. I'll be like, bro, boom. He'll be like, yeah, bro, you know, God, man, you know, sometimes, and I'll be like, nigga, I ain't trying to hear that right now. But then when I sit and I think about what he said, you know, it only take 5 seconds to change a thought. You know what I'm saying? It only change 5 seconds. If you and the person mad and you calm the situation down, 5 seconds later, they're gonna calm the situation down. It only take 5 seconds. So when he say stuff and I'll be sitting, I'll be like, oh, he was right about that. Okay, yeah, I can look at it like that. But I don't be wanting to look at it like that. I'll be wanting to look like you know. And
hard-headed.
Natasha Hubbard.
Okay, now who's Natasha?
That's Babe.
Oh, all right, Babe.
Yeah.
Babe done changed your whole life, done settled your ass down.
For sure. For sure.
Good.
For sure.
Good. All right. So my last question over here is what do you want the world to know? Something that you've learned and that you want to share with the world. What is it that you want the world to know?
You can't get back time. I got a joke I always tell people. You know what I'm saying? I'm 53. So I always tell people in real life I'm only 30. So because I did 20 years in jail. So you got to subtract the 20 from my age. So really I'm like 33. You know what I'm saying?
I know.
33.
You might be younger than that though, JT, and we'll talk about that, but go ahead.
But I can't get none of them 20 back. Not near day of them 20. Life is short. You could be talking to somebody today. Tomorrow they calling you like, hey,
tonight.
Guess who passed away? Like who? Such and such. What? I just talked to them on the phone. Like, yeah, they passed away. You know?
Mm-hmm.
So people should really appreciate their loved ones and appreciate time.
Amen. Amen.
You
Natasha said, Bay said, you are such an inspiration.
Mm-hmm. But you silly.
He over there moaning.
But that's just
learn. Okay.
I'm uncontrollable. I'm uncontrollable. No, I'm just
I know.
But no, I have changed. Like, you know, I've changed my you know, I've changed my entire outlook on life. But it took me 45 years to do that, because the last time I went to prison, I was 45 years old. I wasn't grown up until I didn't grow up until I was 45 years old. Ain't that something?
But
that's crazy, ain't it?
It's understandable if you understand how trauma impacts a person's mindset and how it creates a growth it basically stunts your growth. At the moment in which trauma impacts your life, for many people, that's where they're stuck. Whether that's, excuse me, that trauma for you, it could, the first traumatic thing could have been your parents leaving. The
Yeah.
next traumatic thing could have been that neighbor down the street trying.
Right. Right.
The next form of trauma was possibly, getting put into the system, having to leave the system constantly, trying to run from one home to the next home to the next home, and then going to prison,
Yeah.
and then losing a child,
hmm
and you lost a sister as well, correct?
No, I lost my sister, died of an overdose too. My
So
baby
all of these
sister,
things
Teresa.
are traumatic.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. When you say, many would say, just looking at it on a high level, that maybe the time you went into prison at 19 is when trauma ensued. But honestly, we don't even know if you were 19 when you went in. You have been traumatized many years prior. So
Yeah.
I'm
Many years.
you're a blessing. You're a walking blessing.
The trauma started when I
Yeah.
went home from school, and the man from Children's Services was waiting for me to take me to Franklin County Children's Service. That was the beginning. That was 7
Yeah.
years old. How many other kids you think out here going through trauma, suffering?
Yeah.
What you think
Yeah,
that little boy that I mentored? Can you imagine
Look.
what he going through? 11 years old and lost his mama and his dad.
No.
Woo, woo, man. That's
So,
why
yeah.
I give back. That's why. That's my inspiration for, you know what I'm saying, being like, let me help this kid. I don't
Yeah.
care about no money. You know what I'm saying? That ain't what money. You got all the, it's millionaires miserable going through it. Yeah, they got money. The money ain't,
The money
you
is
know what I'm
not
saying?
everything.
The money
No.
ain't everything. But seeing that little boy smile and me helping him meet his needs, that meant
Mhm.
everything to me.
So is he in foster care now, or is he with another family member at least?
No, he's with another family member. He's
Good.
with another family member. You know what I'm
Good.
saying? But, you know, my heart just goes out to him. So, yeah, I'm definitely going to do everything I can to help him and make sure that he stays focused on this. I know I can't take his pain away. When my mom left, couldn't nobody take my pain away. My grandma, nobody. You know what I'm saying? Because I wanted my mom. Can't nobody take that boy's pain away. But what I'm going to do, I'm going to help you ease it. That's what I want to do.
Well,
And make
good.
sure that you don't get lost out here to these streets.
Yep.
You understand what I'm saying? Because
I
ain't nothing
do.
out there. Ain't nothing out there. Not, and they always talk about all these kids today. Oh, they this, they that. I was doing the same shit. We just didn't have access to all these crazy guns like these kids have got. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But we was carrying guns. I just told you. I didn't tell you. I didn't tell you that. But I put the people in the freezer.
Yeah. We remember
I had
that.
a gun. You feel what
Look,
I'm
we
saying?
figured. I mean, I'm sure they didn't walk in there like the freezer.
Right.
Yeah, we'll go in
You
here.
feel what I'm saying? You understand what I'm saying? Like it's they're not no different than the only difference I see is we have more male figures. Yeah, my dad wasn't around, but it was another man that showed me how to be a man when I was little that wasn't in the streets. His name John Barnett. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying? That wasn't in the streets, that wasn't doing none of that. Took care of his family.
Okay.
You know, and then I had the gangsters out here. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know, just that's what it is. So, I'm gonna do my part. That's all I can do. I'm gonna do my part. I
Well,
want to tell my sister, Leaky. We having a little differences right now, but I love her. That's my baby sister. And I love her. You know what I'm saying? And everybody that's on here, we need to bring back the importance of family because we lost that. You know?
JT,
And that's
thank
all I
you.
really.
I want to thank you for spending this time with us over here tonight. We got a couple more questions. We're going to take a little bit of a break. Everybody in the chat, please still hit the like button if you haven't already. I am going to steal Jimmy for about at least 30 more minutes. I want to get some real tea out of this mug, okay? But I'm going to tell you, let me ask you this, JT. Let me ask you this first, because I was about to make a suggestion, but I don't want to make a suggestion if it's not conducive to your lifestyle. Do you drink?
Yeah, I drink. Well, not like I used to.
Okay. No, I was gonna tell you go get a cocktail, and I didn't want to offer suggest that you go get a cocktail real quick.
Don't. I mean, no, I'm cool right now.
Okay,
I'm having fun. I'm having fun.
Plus, Bay is in the chat.
Hey, I was a little nervous coming on here because this is the first time that I share my story. Don't nobody know this about me. You feel what I'm saying? They know. Well, like I said, my best friend Diddy, she know. My family know. Good but
things that
but like just giving it to people raw and uncut and letting them, the naked truth. That's what I call it. You know,
for sure.
Then it's like it's sort of scary.
I understand.
Because you don't want to show vulnerability. You understand what I'm saying?
Like but there's strength in vulnerability.
Yeah. Like me feeling that about my daughter.
The strongest person is the person that is not afraid to be transparent and to be true to who they are. That doesn't mean you go around telling all your business, but you don't need to live in shame because you honestly don't have anything to be ashamed of. I don't know that. See, here was my issue. I've shared my story. I've made a mistake. I made a bad choice. I was desperate in a moment and I did something I knew was wrong. Had no business doing. I knew that, right? And the thing that beat me up the most about this, I was raised in church. I went to Catholic school all my life.
Me too. I went the Bible way right there on the west side.
I got degrees. I have friends and family who are well off, who do well for themselves. And I felt like, and I was raised in a 2-parent household. There was no excuse in my mind, for me to have gotten where I was, but it humbled me enough to say, look, when you are desperate or you're afraid of something and you're trying to make a decision out of fear and desperation, you probably aren't going to make the best decision. And I know I have never made the best decisions when I was feeling fearful or desperate, right? So I would beat myself up all the time because I felt like there was no excuse for me to be in this situation. On the flip side, when I meet people who have stories like yours, I'm like, it's a wonder you still living. It's a wonder that you got sense in your head. It's a wonder that you're in your right mind, that you even want to do the right thing. You had no guidance. You were literally out here willy fucking nilly. And that is why I'm so proud of you. I don't give a damn about how many years you spent in prison because the prison didn't make the man. Okay. The prison taught the man something, hopefully, and you can walk from that and share that story and be better because of it. But I don't think you have anything to be ashamed of. You have everything to be proud of in this moment. Your family is proud of you. Your loved ones are proud of you. I'm proud of you. You are so special to me. When I tell you, that's why I stay on your ass.
Getting on my nerves. Getting on my nerves.
On that ass, okay? And I'm going to stay on it. All right?
Yes.
So So that's why you gotta cut ties with me if you don't want me to stay on that ass. You know what I'm saying? Because
Right.
when I talk to you, I want to know that you're doing the right thing. Just in the same way I would think you would do for me or anybody else you care for,
Mhm.
right? So I'm proud of you. Your
Thank
life
you.
is a testimony. You are a
Thank
walking testimony. And let that be the motivation to continue to walk in this same light. Because the light is shining on you now, JT.
Oh yeah, I'm supposed to be dead. I was supposed to be dead in 2008, 7.
Okay, we can talk some more. Look, we about to take a real quick break, y'all. We
Don't
about
worry
to get
about
out
it.
of here.
Hey, you got me for the longest you gonna have me is for an hour. But you got me
I don't even. Nigga, I'm tired of you already. Anyway.
All right.
Oh
I
no,
love
just
you.
playing. Look, where's Natasha? She must not be over at the crib. Girl, come on
Yes,
over
she
here.
is.
Oh, okay, she's here. Well, let me say
Yeah.
hi. Hi, Natasha Hubbard. Can we say
She
hi?
downstairs. Hold on.
Okay, we're gonna say hi to her on the other channel. All right, y'all. Here's what I'm about to do. To those of you that came back over here to the Lenore Show, thank you so much for joining us tonight. We are about to move over to the V Lenore Uncut channel. We're gonna chill, talk trash for a little bit. But Facebook and V Lenore Show, thank you for joining us. JT, thank you for coming and talking to my peoples.
Oh, no
All right.
doubt. No
Okay,
doubt.
if we want to talk more shit, y'all, you come on over here to V Lenore Uncut. Okay, so we're gonna go over there for a second. All right, to everybody in the chat, hopefully you guys click the link, subscribe over there. You can click on V Lenore Uncut, and we'll be over there. And I'll see you in a minute. All right. Bye. Bye.
She wanted to see you to get on the thing.
Hold on. Oh, wait. Can I change it? It won't let me change. You know what, y'all? We just gonna have to go live again. All right. So I'm gonna end this whole broadcast, and I'll see you guys over there for part 2. Bye.